everybody, and welcome to a very special BB Can post-season show with Dre. Oh, this is going to be such a fun show with you guys. I want to let you know super quickly, if you guys want to see any of our shows back, you can check them out at yourrealityrecaps.com/bbcan. You can see all of our interviews with past house guests from this season and previous season. All of our content is over there. And if you guys are watching this back later and want to see us when we do the shows live, head over to yourrealityrecaps.com/younow and become a fan over there so that you can participate in the chat room, get notified when we go live. I know. Tomorrow night is Aika. Friday is Dimitri's. Then I think maybe even Annetta and a Kevin. So you want to become a fan is my point. If you guys want to help support the shows, you can become a patron at yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. You get access to the patron-only shows, prize giveaways for patrons, your questions asked to the reality stars, and that, or doing a one-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal is what allows us to keep bringing you guys content all year long, like we're covering BB19. But we are talking BB Can now, so I say, let's bring in the lady you all want to hear from. It's Dre!
Hello!
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm alive.
You are good and you are alive. Now, Dre, before we get into everything, I just have to say, William threw me for a loop on his show, so I have prepared something for you. Ready? Here we go. Here we go.
Bienvenue au spectacle.
I love it! Merci, merci. Merci de m'accueillir aussi chaleureusement.
God bless you. So, before we kick off the show, I need to let everybody know, spread the word, tell everyone that we're live right now with Dre, share it on social media. Of course, like I just said, become a fan. Click the fan button right here if you're watching in YouNow. And of course, the #1 fan is winning Dre's autograph that she signed in the bathroom. Currently, Becca is the #1 fan.
Ooh, Becca, get it!
Becca is getting it. Okay, Dre?
Yes.
We are going to bombard you with questions on this show. We're going to try and get as many in as we can. Of course, the #1 question, or I would say one that's been asked the most. Yes. What is your relationship like with Aika right now?
Listen, I don't have a relationship with Aika right now, actually. After the show, it kind of just went down. But yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I'm learning that now too.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because right after the show, it was fine. Like when we did the finale, even during the jury deliberation, the finale, well, I thought it was fine. Everything was good. And yeah, it just wasn't fine apparently. So yeah.
Do you want it to be fine?
Yeah, obviously, I want to be good with everyone from my cast, and sincerely, regardless of what happens, I have a lot of respect for every single members and every single house guest that went on Big Brother Canada in general,
right? And
for all my house guests that were on Big Brother Canada 5, so I do have a lot of love and a lot of respect for all of them, for sure.
I swear, I feel it's my duty to bring you all together. And it's not working yet.
You know what? It's okay. Like you put 16 people in a house. We all have different opinions, different views. We all have our own personalities, and sometimes we're just not meant all to, like each other, and that's okay. But I do have a lot of respect for everyone. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, I wanna go right to here for 1 second because this is another one of the multiple conversations this summer happened around this topic.
Yes.
And it is, and I know we touched on it, but for people that may have missed it in our bathroom interview, what was your big secret, Dre? In your pre-season interview, you said you had a big secret, and people guessed that you were related to Godfrey, or like there were so many things that we thought, what could the secret be? And well, I'm not going to ruin it for everyone what you said your answer was, but what's your secret?
In all honesty, I don't recall saying that I have a big secret. I'm sorry, I really don't. But I don't have a secret. Like, there's no big secret. Probably the fact that I did say that I was still doing my undergrad, whereas I'm actually doing my master's. But I don't have a big secret. I don't know where you got that from.
We got it from you.
Okay, listen. I don't recall. I plead the fifth. Okay.
I honestly think that some people were thinking it was like the gymnast thing, that you were very smart because of your background, but then that you were also going to be like this physical competitor and stuff like that.
I definitely wanted to be the physical competitor as well, but I just sucked. So, and I didn't want to win the competitions as well. So it's like a bit of both, me sucking and me not wanting to win.
Miranda K wants to know, you talked about doing big moves in the game. What do you consider to be one of your biggest moves?
That's a good question. I wanted to do big moves in the game, and I had to adapt my gameplay with the people that were in the house and with what was happening. So I'm not going to say that I had one big move, but I'm going to say that my whole strategy that I adapted was to make as many connections as possible to myself and have people trust me. So I don't have one single big move, but the fact that I had all these connections and I was basically in the middle for a while would be my biggest move, let's say.
Right. We heard you say a lot of time on the feeds that you were playing like with honesty, that you didn't want to lie in Big Brother.
Yeah.
You wanted to make it through playing an honest, loyal game.
Yeah.
Now, being outside of the game, would you still do that the same way again? Like, would you want to play it the same way again, or have you changed your opinion on that at all?
When I was in the house, I feel like I really evolved as a player, because in the beginning I was about 100% honesty. I didn't want to lie, and I wanted that to be my game. And then you come to realize that you're playing with other people, that you have to adapt to their characters, you have to adapt to their gameplays, and you can't. I felt like I couldn't survive if I didn't throw a lie here and there. And so I try to stay as true to myself as possible. But if I do it again, I would probably start playing a little earlier. That's what I would do.
You need to lie.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I say playing Big Brother and not lying and manipulating is like playing Monopoly with half the money. It's not the rules.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You have to lie a little bit. You have to.
You do, yeah.
You
if
do.
you want to survive, if you want to win, if you want to go far, you do have to be able to manipulate a little bit, influence people in a certain way and stuff like that. So yeah, it is Big Brother. Come on.
Another huge topic this season was about your speaking French with William.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on your speaking French with William? I know a lot of us, some people were like, it's totally fine. Other people were against it. They were like, it's not fair. It gives them an advantage in the game. What do you want to say about that aspect of your game with William?
Le français, c'est ma langue première. Alors.
Okay.
French is my mother tongue. So
right.
I will speak French, and we are in Canada, so I think it's okay, right?
Yeah.
And yes, I had an advantage being able to speak French with William. I had an advantage being able to speak behind people's back in front of them, basically, because we were speaking French. And so I'm not going to apologize to people that did not understand. There's Google Translate. Sorry.
There is Google Translate. I used it at the start of the show. I said they should have given everyone English to French dictionaries.
Yeah, definitely.
And that could have leveled it a little bit. What was it like? I mean, obviously your bond with William in that game was very strong because you had that connection of, how do you look back on your relationship with William in the game now that it's over?
Being good friends with William outside of the house just proves to me that we actually had a connection and a bond that's beyond just speaking French. In the beginning, I thought that was going to be our connection solely because we spoke French, and I was like, okay, it's just easier to align with him because we speak French. But we're actually good friends, and we get along very well outside of the French speaking thing. So yeah.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't saying just the French speaking thing,
Yeah.
but I liked your bond with William in the house very much.
I like it too. I like it too.
Christine 666 wants to know, how are things with you and Bruno now? Are you guys friends?
Bruno and I were good. We're really good. I feel like in the house there's a lot of different people that I didn't really like. Because of their attitude or because I just didn't like them. And when I got to get outside or in the jury house and I got to speak with them and explain my point of view and they explained their point of view, we were all good and we squashed things out and we had just, I really have no hard feelings for anybody. And Bruno is a good example where in the game, in the house, I did not like Bruno. And outside of the house, we just hashed things out and we were cool, man. It's all good. I love you, Bruno.
Bruno actually talked about that on the show last week about how you guys worked everything out in jury. So, I mean, for you, and I'm going to let you answer it, do you feel that, would you say that you're the type of player who the game is the game and everything that happens in the game stays in the game and then the real world is like a start over? Or does it kind of bleed together for you where you obviously take some of those feelings from the game into the real world?
I don't. I do not. Listen, let me tell you something.
I'm ready.
Big Brother obviously was a dream, and I'm forever grateful that I was part of this experiment and this experience, and I loved it. Now, in the house, you do certain things that maybe you don't want to do, but you do them because of the game or because you want to gain trust or, Cindy explained it very well in the interview, So in the house, there's certain things that you do because you're in the house and you have certain restrictions. And for me, when I go outside of that, the little restriction or that little box, it's over. It's done. You did what you had to do to win because every single one of us that was in the house, we wanted to win. Right. Everyone wanted to win. So you do what you have to do. And when I'm outside, I'm not going to hold a grudge or take something that happened in the house in an environment where you wanted to win and you did what you had to do. I mean, I think that's a bit foolish if you do that. So I'm not that type of person. It's done. It's over.
Good. I do love when the house guests separate the game from the real world, but then I also understand that there are some things that people do take into the real world with them too, because again, we're all human.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was gonna say. It's very understandable because you play with other humans. We are humans at the end of the day. You do have emotions, so I can understand that someone wants to remain bitter or salty or whatever. But I am not pressed. We're done. It's good.
I always feel like it dies out as the year goes on, or not dies out, but I feel people reconnect more after their season as the year goes on. Because I think a lot of people take self-interest in fueling fires. Fueling fires allows them to have a purpose, and then they like to fuel fires.
Yeah.
So I think as time goes on, things will fade out a little bit. Simply Lisa 808 says, who will you be keeping in touch with then now that the show is over? Besides William, who are you looking forward to, or who do you see yourself talking to the most now that the show's over?
Besides William, I've been talking to Cindy a little bit, and I really appreciate Cindy. I think she's super down to earth. I absolutely love her. I've been talking to Netta, Emily, Mark, Dallas a little bit. That's pretty much it. I'm sorry if I forget someone, but yeah, I think that's it.
That was my part where somebody says Mark, and then I just stop listening.
Mark is beautiful. He is absolutely gorgeous. Yes.
Why didn't you? Well, I guess you really didn't have a chance to say. Why didn't you push William in that direction? Pushed William in that. All right, we're gonna get.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Listen.
I've been telling William. I'm like, William, make it happen. Let's take a question from Twitter. Spunky Spybridge wants to know, Dre, I love you, queen.
I love you.
If you had saved Cassandra week 3, how different do you think your run would have been?
That's a really good question. It's so hard with these questions with if and buts and things like that because when you change one variable, the rest of it changes.
Right.
I think week 3, I was still very loyal to William and Ika, and so even if we would have saved Cassandra, I think I would have continued being loyal to Ika and William. So I think she would have been a plus. However, for my game, definitely, and I'm not gonna lie, she would have been seen always as a bigger target, so that would have been good for me. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I think she would. I actually appreciated her in the game. So yeah.
I want to talk about one of the bigger game moments, or one of the game moments that caused people like me frustration with you and William and even Kevin. The Buzzkill competition.
What happened?
Why were you just giving that to Dylan? Why were you like, here you go, Dylan. Here, you want my game? Here, Dylan. Here's our game. Here you go.
That is not how it happened.
All right, explain it to me.
What happened was we were right after the double eviction. Dylan had just lost Emily, and he had. This is my perspective, okay? My opinion from my eyes.
Yep.
Just making a disclaimer. So he was feeling kind of down. He just lost his number 1, and he was already talking about like going home. Prior to that, he was like, I want to go home. Like, I'm done, whatever. So at that point, when he got saved, and it was right after the double, and I basically that time is also the time that my loyalty to Ika just went down. And I was like, I don't want to win because I do feel like Dylan probably is going to go after someone like either Ika and Dimitri or even just Dimitri. And I knew that. So I didn't feel like I needed to win. And William was in a great position as well. Didn't feel like they needed to win. You guys have to understand, after the double eviction, my positioning in the game was I try to reposition myself, and in order for me to do that, I had to have Dylan basically be on my side, or like I had to build trust with Dylan, and that was my way of doing that.
Right. Well, I want to talk for a few more minutes about Ika, because you just kind of said that's when your relationship with Ika went downhill. So, yeah. I mean, in your opinion, why do you think that your relationship with Ika went down in the game at that point?
So this is how I see it. Big Brother is definitely a game of perception,
right.
And my perception is my reality. During week 5, what happened is that the day before the double eviction, Ika gave me the information about the 6, and even the morning of the double eviction, she was giving me information. And while she was giving me that information, I felt like she wasn't giving me all of the information. And she mentioned that she did that to protect me and things like that, but she trusted me 100. And I felt like if you trust someone 100, you would have told that person before, you would have told that person when the alliance was there, right. In the beginning. Just like, for example, William and I, we told each other we're going to talk shit about each other to other people, and we had that much trust knowing that we would do that to each other. You know what I mean? So I just felt like when she was giving me that information, my like the trust level went from 100 to like a 90, and then an 80, and then a 70. And then certain things that she was doing in the house moving forward past that week, I just couldn't trust her. And I was debating a lot in my head if I could or if I couldn't trust her. And I just went with my gut 100%. And my perception was that I could not trust her, and I do not think that she did have my back.
And I think that that's totally understandable from, like, for your position in the game. I think I would have felt the same exact way. If you're giving me information because now the information could hurt you, our relationship, if it comes out, exactly. I don't know that I would have trusted her from that point either. Now, you had no way to know that she did have your back at that point in the game. But like you said, at that point a little bit, but I agree with you.
I feel like she did tell me that a lot, which I understand, and maybe that's why I had the like doubt in my mind. Do I trust her? Do I not? She tells me that. But I like looking back, I don't feel like she did, unfortunately, and that's my perception. And the week that I got evicted, what happened was that, I wanted to go forward, and I even had the conversation with her and Dimitri, and we're like, okay, we're doing this. It's us three, and I just abandoned the idea of going after Ika Dimitri. I was like, okay, it's good. I'm gonna trust her. And then the day before double eviction, she went to tell William that I was going after Kevin, which is good for her game. It's fine.
Right.
But in my point of view, being me in that game, I was like, that was not necessary. If you have my back, you did not need to go tell that information to William, who is supposed to be my number one. You know what I mean? Like, I just felt like my name should have not been in her mouth if she had my back, really, as she claims.
Right. No, and I totally agree. Like, I don't understand why people don't see that, like, your viewpoint there. It is actually irrelevant what Ika was or wasn't doing in that moment, because that was the information that you had at that point in the game, and that's how you made, you know, your decision in the game. So I don't get why people get so angry about that point.
It's hard for people to understand because they're not in the house. I've been in the house, you know. You deal with the information that you're given, and you deal with your gut feeling. You deal with how you see people moving, what you observe. And when she did that and she went and told William, I think it was great for her game. I think it was a good game move for her. However, how I felt is that if you tell someone that you have their backs, then there's no need for you to go tell that person's number one, let's say, that she's going after his lover. Like, hello, like it was not necessary. That's the only thing that made me be like, okay, she does not have my back.
All I can say, well, let me ask you this, because I know a lot of people are asking, have you watched any of the show yet?
I haven't watched the show. I watched like 3 episodes, and I haven't watched the show. I feel like, you know,
lived it.
people... Yeah, I lived it, and I feel like the show, I feel like the show was great, and I felt like in the house it was lit. Someone told me to not say that. I don't care. It was lit, and I lived it. I think the show shows something else as well that maybe the live feed saw differently, and in the house it's even different from the live feed, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the show is making an edited story, and they need storylines, so things are, we'll say, edited for a storyline. I wish you guys got to watch the live feeds back. Like, our United States live feeds, you can go back and watch the whole thing if you want. Because you do miss a lot. I wouldn't even put so much stock in the edited version of the show that you're seeing, because oftentimes a lot of it is different than what actually happened. I'll say to you, unbiasedly, I do think that up until that point, like up into that turning point for you and Ika, I do think from what we watched on the feeds, she was going to take you guys to the end, but I would take you to the end. But like you said, there was too much interference from other people, and then when she doesn't give you all the information, then that creates your doubt, and I would have done the same thing you did. So I get it.
The doubt was there, and it wasn't anything against her. It's just that the doubt was already there, and for my gameplay, I thought since that's the other thing that maybe I didn't get to explain, is that I felt that since week 5 I was playing by myself. I was a solo player, and from week 5 up until my eviction, I still feel like I was playing by myself, and I was making those connections by myself, and I was repositioning myself by myself. Like, I was doing that. It was me doing that. No, like, I didn't get really help, you know. That was my action. So I was playing by myself.
Right. No, I totally see how you would see that. I think it's also a thing of like a first-time player versus a returning player. Like, I'm sure you would do things a lot differently if you went back into the house, and you would know like, this is going to perceive this way, and maybe these moves could move me more forward. That's why I don't like a mixed season anymore. I used to
Talk to me about it.
I used to love mixed seasons, but now I just feel like it's not really a fair advantage to the people who have never played the game before. Yeah,
I think that's the one thing I didn't want. I was like, I don't want to play with returning players, and then they're there, and I'm like, oh my goodness, but I love them so much. It's just, it's hard.
So were you a fan of Big Brother before you were on it?
Yes.
Who were you most excited? I know a lot of people asked it. I don't see one currently, but who are you most excited to see walk in the house of the returning players this?
Aika, for sure. I loved Aika season 2, and that hasn't changed. Like,
Right.
it's not because I played with her or whatever is happening. It doesn't change my feelings. From BB Can 2, I absolutely loved Aika, and when I saw her coming in the house, I was like, oh my God, Aika! Like, so she was one of my faves. And then Cassandra, I think she was one of the greatest players on her season. I still think she is, and I still like her. So when I saw her coming in, I was like, Cassandra! And it was basically those two, and I also like Netta on her season as well. So yeah, but Aika was definitely my number one that I was so super stoked to see, and Cassandra as well because I just loved her.
What now have you, since you've been out of the house, have you seen the hashtag Dre exposed party? Have you heard of hashtag Dre exposed party?
I heard of it, and I think it's so funny because it actually took the house at least 4 weeks to expose me. And you don't understand. Every day I would wake up and I would be like, someone's going to say something and people are going to know what I'm doing and I'm going to be screwed every single day. And I'm actually surprised that it took that long for people to like catch on.
Well, that is a testament to your game that it took that long for people to catch on.
Yeah. I was so scared. I would tell certain things to certain people, or I would tell the same thing to different people. And I was like, if they come together and they start comparing notes, I'm screwed. Like I was really scared.
Which is why some people don't give all the information until they absolutely have to.
Yeah, which I feel like my advantage was that I could give the information and no one actually went, like, people actually trusted me. The house guests actually trusted me to the extent where they wouldn't compare notes. So
Right.
that's good for me. I think that's what I did. I was able to get people to not run back to each other. Well, I mean, until last minute, but yeah.
No, people did trust you in the game.
Yeah.
People trusted, trusted exactly what you said and what you told them in the game.
Yeah.
B Hoot, so then kind of on that same topic, B Hoot says, how much do you love your turn up memes? Because, Dre, you do know. You kept telling us about the turn up. We didn't necessarily see it like a level 10 turn up.
Guys, do you need a refund? I'm so sorry.
They want a refund, Dre.
I'll give you a refund because listen, what happened was, no, to be honest, I have no explanations. I was actually ready for the turn up. I'll give you guys refunds when I play next time.
You kind of did with Dylan at the end. Like, we kind of saw you get heated with Dylan there, kind of towards the end. What water sport water sport in the chat room wants to know, well, what is your relationship like with Dylan now?
I haven't talked to Dylan actually, but I sincerely have nothing against him. I was definitely a bit bitter I was bitter after my eviction, obviously, and I was still not happy with his gameplay, but I do think it was great for his game to have done that. I do think it was good. And I don't have anything against him. As I said, I do respect every single one that was in that house, not only them, but all of the previous houses as well. Like, it's hard playing Big Brother, man. It's hard.
Destiny's has a little bit of a tough question for you, but a lot of people did ask this. You said that you wanted a newbie to win the game.
Yes.
But in the end, you voted for a vet. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I wanted to vote for someone that represented the season well and that played well. To be honest, with the final 2 that was given, I voted for Kevin because I think that's what he represented with that final 2. Had the final 2 been something different, it would have been different. But yeah.
Rafe S says, and then we can be done with turning up. Rafe F says, was there a turn up plan? Like, was there something that you had in mind that you were going to do specifically, or no, it was just more like, it's coming, the game's coming, I'm gonna bring it?
I don't recall all the time that I said turn up, in all honesty. Was it in the live feeds or in the show? Because
It was on the live feeds a lot.
On the live feed? What?
Well, then once Twitter gets something, and then it's like memes, and then it explodes.
Yeah, it's funny though. there's a lot of things that I did, like saying, for example, I'm gonna expose you with whatever, knowing damn well that I wasn't gonna do it, and I just did it to show that I could if I wanted to, just again because it was part of my gameplay to act like I had all the information and I could expose everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I was ready at one point to do it, and then I just never did because I was trying to think of the best way to again like position myself and the best way to maintain my connections, and it would not have been good for me. So sometimes I was being just over dramatic and doing the most when I just didn't have anything. Yeah.
I feel like we've asked this to everybody now, so we have to ask it to you, you being there. What was your opinion of the jury? It's definitely split down the middle, where some fans feel like the jury was very bitter in their voting.
Really?
And then other people say, no, not bitter, factual, and went with who they thought played the best game. So you, as someone in the jury, what is your opinion of the way the jury was?
I can't speak for everyone. I don't want to speak
just you,
for
like,
everyone, but I feel like with the final two that was given, the jury was not bitter. With that final two, they weren't. Had it been an Aika Dimitri or a Dimitri Kevin, then we could have talked about a bitter jury depending on where the votes were. But with that final two, I don't feel like the jury was bitter, no.
Is there any vet that you haven't met that you would have liked to have met or would have liked to play the game with? I see a few people asking. No.
That's a no. It's a no. It's a no.
It's a no. Obviously, I know we have a ton of people that are asking, would you ever do Amazing Race?
I would do Amazing Race. Yes, I would love to.
Who would you do it with if you could pick anyone to do it with?
I'm probably gonna say William. Obviously, I'm gonna say William. And if not, my little sister, because she's a boss. So yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you ever do Survivor?
I would love to do Survivor, actually. I would love to.
Survivor, or Amazing Race, which would you want to do more?
I'm gonna say Amazing Race.
Well, surprise! I'm a casting agent, and you're no. Imagine this
Get
was
out of
really an
here.
interview. Jackie Knows wants to know, at any point, do you think that Karen's age made her hard to relate to other house guests? So, Karen sometimes said that she thought the age difference with the house was a barrier for her. Do you feel like it was a barrier for her?
Well, if she feels like it, then I mean, her feelings are valid, right?
Right.
I do feel like being older in that group, I can understand why she would feel that way. To me, I think I just didn't connect with her as much as other house guests did. I don't know if I don't think it's an age thing. Like, William absolutely adores her, and he was good with her, and they have that age difference. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I don't know I don't think it's an age thing. It was more, for me, it was more just not connecting as much as other people would. But Karen did give me great lessons and great advices that I will take on in my everyday life, for sure.
I think even Karen said it on the show earlier this week. I think it was Karanoia that put up the wall. I think it was
Possible.
the Karanoia.
Possible.
If you had to do it again, would you want to go more in with the strategy of win comps or like throw comps and play more of a social game?
If I were to do it again, I would do the social game again.
Okay.
Because I wasn't very good at comps, but at the same time, I wasn't giving my 100%, and I did throw a couple of comps as well. I do think that my ability and my capacities are really in my social game and really with talking to people and creating those connections. So if I do it again, obviously you try for the comps, and sometimes you ask yourself, do I need to win it or not? but I don't think I would have been good in comps anyway. Like, come on, we had Dimitri, man. He was a beast. Like, so I would go with the social game. I go with what my capacity is, and that's social.
I know a lot of people always like to play the what if game. So I have some what ifs for you, or not what ifs for you. People, we've gotten so many variations of this. I've narrowed it down to 4 of them for you.
All right.
Who would you have given the win to in these 4 situations? So the first one is.
Oh my God.
First one is Dimitri and Kevin. Who are you giving the win to?
Dimitri.
Dimitri and Karen.
Dimitri.
Ika and Dimitri.
I would have given it to Dimitri. I think I want to say though, and I've already said this, but I want to say I think that Dimitri represents this season very well, and I'm not taking anything from Ika. I'm not taking anything from her gameplay, just putting it out there. Disclaimer for all the haters. Okay. But I'm not taking anything out of her game.
Right.
I'm just saying that I do believe that Dimitri represented this season very well. And I'm not going to lie, in a final 2 where Dimitri was in it, I would have voted for Dimitri.
I agree with that, and I see that side because I mean it comes right down to, is a social game more valuable, or is a competition game, winning competitions, a better strategy to get you to the end? And for Ike and Dimitri, I think they were a perfect pair because they had both, and it would be hard. There were weeks when Ika's, let's say, social game couldn't save both of them, but Dimitri's comp win did, and vice versa. There were weeks where Dimitri's comp win couldn't save them, and Ika's social game saved it. So I mean, it's definitely hard going down that path. But wait, your last what if is Ika and Kevin. Who do you give it to?
Ika.
You do give it to Ika over.
Yeah, that's not even a.
I would give it to Ika too.
That's not even a question. Sorry, Kevin, but not sorry.
What? Okay. Now postseason. I mean, we saw on the show that Kevin said, "No, I'm not interested in pursuing anything with you, William." Now that I used you for what I needed. But let's say if in the real world your phone rings and William calls you up and says, "Hey, Kevin wants to go on a date." Are you encouraging it or not?
You guys, I have nothing against Kevin.
The answer is you're not encouraging it. That's fine. You don't have to encourage. I'm not encouraging it.
It's not true. Sincerely, at one point, I did apologize to Kevin because I thought that he was using William. Again, I don't know what you guys saw, but I do think Kevin was genuine. And right now, Kevin and I were good. And I don't, I know I said I don't like you, but I'm okay with him. Like, he's good. And if ever William calls me and says, I'm going on a date with Kevin, if William's happy, I'm happy.
And that is how a real friend should be.
That's a heart.
Unless Kevin is in the game and secretly splitting your throat behind the scenes, William.
Wow.
I feel the same exact way. I like Kevin outside of the game. I just didn't love Kevin's game this season. And I think that fact is hard for people to grasp. Like, how can you not like a game but still be okay now that it's over? It's called being an adult.
That's exactly it. I don't get how people don't see that. Like, in the game, you don't like certain people. I didn't like Netta in the game, Bruno, Kevin, and I can name a lot of people that I didn't like. And outside of the game, you get to talk to them and you're like, oh, okay, they're cool. Like, it's fine. You don't need to hold a grudge. I don't have time for this.
I do see a lot of people saying, you're saying that you think Dimitri was a good representation of the game, or that Kevin, you gave the vote to him because he was a good representation of the season. People in the chat room are saying, can you expand more on what you mean by good representation? What do you think makes them be a good representative for this season? What was it that they did?
It's a mix. For me, it's a mix of social and comp wins. In general, I think Dimitri is a very good example of someone that yes, he was a power couple with Aika, and yes, Aika was more of the social player, and maybe he was seen more as the comp beast because he was a comp beast. But he was actually also smart, and he was also social, and he had his connections, and he was lovable and amicable and all of that. So I do think that him beasting out on the comps and aligning with himself with Aika, that was his complemented his game, and having good connections with other people in the house as well. I do think that that's a good representation of Big Brother in general, and I do appreciate that gameplay. So I think he was a good in the final four. I think he, in my opinion, was a great representation of Big Brother Canada 5. And when I say Kevin is a good representation, I mean in that final two between Karen and Kevin,
right,
then I would have voted for Kevin. But if the final two would have been different, it would have been different.
Right. If you could have picked anybody, so if you had to say, if they said, Dre, who do you want to be the ambassador of Big Brother Canada 5? Who do you want to represent Big Brother Canada 5 as the overall best one? Who would you say? Besides yourself, of course.
Because I was going to say me.
I know. We all
in that final four, or
no,
in
the whole cast. You can pick anybody you want. Who do you think had the most diverse, or who do you just think represented a good BB can player all around?
Well, again, I'm gonna say Aika or Dimitri.
Okay.
Probably Dimitri, but yeah, I do think that they. Anyways, they do represent the season. You know what I mean? They're already representing the season. So, yeah, I do think out of all of us, probably them. If it's not me, then yeah.
If it's not you, it can't be you. It can't be you if we're asking you. Salawa, I swear I'm going to get this name right one time. Salawa wants to know, how did you feel when William told you about the secret power of veto?
I thought it was sick. I was like, what? That's so cool. I thought it was cool, and I thought it was a great twist as well that he used it, and I just thought it was sick.
Well, I want to tell everybody quickly, because I almost can't believe this, is that we only have 15 minutes left. I don't know where this whole show went, but let me remind everyone that Aiko will be on tomorrow. Dimitri's will be on the day after that, so make sure you guys become a fan now, so you're alerted when we go live with them tomorrow and Thursday, although it'll tomorrow and Friday, it'll be 7 p.m. Eastern, and the number one fan on this show is winning Dre's autograph. So you are getting the order, and I wish one of these days I'm going to bring them over here so that I can hold them up.
Yes.
Oh, Eric, it's Salawal. Okay. I am horrible with talking.
You are.
Thank you. I'm aware of it though. I'm dyslexic. We just had such a good question, and now the stupid thing just glitched. Okay, I'm going to say, is there anything that you wish that you would have done differently? Like you said, you watched 3 episodes back now, so is there anything that, when you're watching the show back, you're kind of like, ooh, I didn't know that bit of information, and had I known that, I would have done this differently? Has there been any of that now that the season's over, or not really?
Not really. I do think I really didn't handle well the information that William gave me at the end. Mm-hmm. When he told me that Aika had told him that I was going after Kevin and all that. I do think that I got way too excited and I was flipping, and I was like, okay, it's our opportunity, let's do it. I thought it was, I think I didn't handle it well. And I think that at that time in that room at one point, it was Dylan, William, and I in a room at one point, and Dylan was explaining it to me in French, and then Dylan went out of, we kind of rejected Dylan out of the conversation, and I think that was really not nice. I think it wasn't nice of me to have done that, because I can understand how he felt, and I can understand that that's why he did what he did.
Right. I know that. I think Dylan has said that before, that that situation is what caused him, let's say, not to trust you in the game. Understand.
Yeah, I really handled that poorly, and I definitely I think that's one thing that I would have done differently. But apart from that, I'm actually really happy with my game. And right after the show, I thought I would regret certain things that I did. I was like, oh, I'm not sure because I still had these emotions and whatever. But looking back, I'm actually very happy with my game.
Oh, that's good. I do like to hear when people are, when players are happy with their game. And I think as you watch, as you watch more of the season back, if you decide to watch more of the season back, that, I think you'll end up liking your game more. I mean, you were someone that we all were, or I shouldn't say we all, don't hate me, haters, but a lot of please.
If you support Dre, you're getting hate. People don't support me.
I support Dre. Oh no. I got death threats, please. That ain't nothing. It's Twitter. I'm going to cry about it all night. Hate me.
Oh, my goodness. Twitter fingers.
I think that, it's whatever. It's social media. It's what people it's what people do. And I mean, that moment with Dylan, that was what started the hashtag Dre exposed party. But I mean, a lot of us, I think that's why I didn't mean to say earlier that you literally threw your game away to Dylan in that Buzzkill comp, but I think a lot of us were really rooting for you at that point in the game, and I understand why you did it, but we were like, no, Dre, we wanted you to have it. We wanted you guys to take the power that week. So I think that's why people are so passionate, because we did love your game.
Yeah, I understand that, and I appreciate all the love and the support that I got. And I sincerely, in that house, you make decisions sometimes based on the information that you're given, and you make them based on. I use a lot my gut feeling, and I also use what I was observing, because I do observe a lot. And at that point, to me, that was a good game move, and I still think that it was. So yeah.
The Miniman Panda, who does the great little, she collects the greatest moments from all of these shows and tweets them out, and people should totally be following her on Twitter. But she wants to know, what was your favorite moment in the house?
It hasn't changed. Day one, I always say this. When Big Brother is a dream, was a dream, and is it still a dream? And when I walked in the house, just seeing the house, putting my feet inside there, seeing everyone looking so beautiful, and just basically accepting the challenge of playing that game. And, I fell when I got in the house, but I got back up and I was like, let's play. So yeah. Day one.
Christine says, how did you come up with your iconic hair flipping motion? I don't think Christine knows about,
Listen. Christine, it's because I have long hair and I don't care. That's why I came up with my flipping hair motion.
First of all, it's long hair and I care. And if you have long hair, cut it off. It's gross.
No.
On a man, not on a woman. On a woman, beautiful. I'm talking about a man. Sorry.
You don't like long hair?
No, it's disgusting. Take a shower.
Do you like the man bun?
No, ew, a man bun. I like short hair.
We cannot be friends. We cannot be friends.
Wait, you like
man bun can be nice. It can be nice.
Yeah, and then it falls out, and you're like, ew, your hair smells.
Oh my god, no, you're doing too much now. Next question.
Okay, next question. I'm sorry, I lied. Up until this point, Dre, I've been way too easy on you with questions.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have to ask you the really hard one now.
Yes.
And it is from Mel1013.
Mel, what's up?
She wants to know, Dre, how many times in the real world do you trip and fall?
Mel, you're not nice.
You fell a lot.
I did. I fall a lot because I don't walk very straight. And so I fall. But Natalie from BB18 told me that dancers do fall. So
okay.
I'm a dancer and I fall, so it's fine.
Okay, Dre.
Yes.
Just one favor. Let's not use Natalie as a reference for stuff.
You're not nice. Okay. Well, she still said that though.
Okay.
What's wrong? Oh my goodness. Anyways, all that to say that I do trip and fall all the time, and I do not walk very straight, and that's the end of it. My hair is still long, and I still don't care.
Okay, I will allow it. I will allow it. If you, oh boy, if you had to be stranded on an island with anyone from the house besides William, who are you choosing to be stranded with?
Oh, dang. Stranded on an island.
Uh-huh.
Well, do I have to pick one? There's so many people because in the house people are actually entertaining. Like Emily and her jokes, they're actually I didn't like her in the house, but outside of it, she's so cool.
Isn't Emily the best?
She's super nice. She's super cool, and I didn't get her in the beginning, but now I do, and she's amazing. So for her jokes and her bubbly character, I would probably say Emily. She would keep me entertained.
See, now, I feel like we've asked that question as well. However, I feel that when I ask it to people, you're missing the other obvious flip side. The island is surrounded with shark-infested waters, so you could just bring someone to the island to murder them, and then you'd get away with it.
I don't do that. I don't do that. I'm not about that life.
Oh, I'm murdering. Someone's gonna be shark food.
That. I'm not doing that.
By the way, special alert, Cindy with an S is in the chat room.
Ah, Cindy!
And she said, tell Dre I miss her and I need to see her soon.
Cindy, stop. I gotta cry. Stop.
Oh, wait, and this...
I love you, Cindy.
And this also just in, Cindy's retracted that. Have fun on the fucking island without her.
Cindy!
She didn't say that.
I'm bringing you.
She didn't say that. Well, okay, Dre, you have, and I know this is going to be hard to believe, but you do have a lot of fans. And you
Really?
You do. I promise. I promise that you do. Just remember, haters, I'm sorry, and Risha wants to meet you. I'm also supposed to tell you that. I think Risha's
Risha.
in the chat room. Okay, alumni, this is Dre's time. I'm sure you can all talk later. Dre, you have a lot of fans that do love you. Just remember, haters' voices are oftentimes louder, or we take them more to heart, so we easily brush aside the love and appreciation that we... I don't mean you specifically.
I love the love. Yeah, no, I love the love. And I don't mind the haters. They can
be obsessed with you all the time.
I just find it weird. Some of them don't follow me, and they actually search like Dre BB Can to see when I'm on Twitter and to drag me. Don't they have a job or something? I don't get it. But anyways, I still have love for them. Thanks for the attention.
That is their job. I want to give you full screen to say whatever it is you want to say to your fans, to your supporters. So Dre, what do you want to say to all the people who supported you? And go.
I want to say thank you so much, guys, for supporting me all around Canada and outside of Canada, because I know some of you messaged me outside of Canada as well. I absolutely love the love and the support that you're giving me and the positive vibe that you're sending me. Thank you so much for being just amazing, amazing people. Y'all are the real MVPs. I love you guys.
Now, if people want to follow you, where can they do it on social media? Like, where do you prefer that they follow you on social media?
Can I be honest? I'm not too much of a social media person.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. But I'm not that sorry. But you can follow me on Twitter at DreBBCan, and on Instagram, it's my first name, Dre, dot my last name, Gwenaelle. And that's it for now.
And we'll put the links below this edited show if you guys are watching it back. I thought you were going to be like, I don't like social media, so everyone can come over to my house for a nice snack and lunch.
Y'all are invited to you can come. But it's not that I don't like social media, it's that I'm just not that much on social media. But I see you guys and I see the love that you're sending me on Twitter and on Instagram, and I appreciate that.
Well, your fans appreciate you back. I want to say congratulations to Little Big Red for being the #1 fan on this show. Congratulations, Little Big Red. Oh, wait, some people want to know, do you have Snapchat?
Guys, I don't have Snapchat, but I promise I will open one. My cell phone right now just doesn't have a lot of storage. But if you guys want me to have Snapchat, I will for you. And that's my love to you, my gift of love to
Trey, I swear to God, I feel like there's a line in the sand. And it's you can either understand Snapchat or not. I am on the not side.
Not.
I did a snap. Is that what we're calling it, kids? I did a snap today for the first time in like 2 months. Oh my God, how do you flip the camera around, everyone? How do you flip that? I know the button's in the top, but I want to record a little bit and then stop recording and then start recording again. I don't understand it.
The struggle is real.
Struggle is real.
I feel you.
And actually, it was about you, my Snapchat, where I was trying to learn French for you. So, Dre, thank you so much for coming on, for talking to your fans. I hope that we get to see more from you. I hope you'll come back on and talk BB18 with us, or BB Can when it hopefully comes back. Were you shocked about the announcement?
I was very shocked, but I'm sure it's going to be fine. And I saw Save BB Can, and I think we can do it. We can actually do it.
I think we can do it too. I think we can do it too. Let's make it happen, everyone. Sign your petitions wherever they are to save hashtag BBK.
Don't give up. Please don't give up. I know some of you guys, it's been your dream, and I understand. Don't give up. We'll save BB Can, and you'll be on the show.
We will say, look, it's going to come back. I feel like it's going to come back. It might. They don't need a year to... whatever. They don't need a year, is my point. I think they're going to figure out a way to bring it back. I'm having faith in Canada. For the love of God, as an American, Canada's all we have. We need we need a Canadian Big Brother. We will, I will see you guys all back here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern with Ica. So again, don't forget to become a fan so you guys are notified when we go live. And I will see you guys all later. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys.